What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James Shoe.com.
And we are here for Mr. Jeff Bridges, Chris Hemsworth in
Bad Times at the El Royale.
Ooh.
Doing something a little bit different. Me and Shoe usually concise, talk about one movie. But this week's been pretty hectic for the both of us, so we actually saw two different movies.
Today was nuts.
I saw Damien Chazelle's First Man, which we reviewed. Click That White Eye, being called the best movie of the year, we'll have to see. And then Mr. Shoe went and saw Bad Times at El Royale, which kind of what I've been saying in the past videos is Hateful Eight at a hotel or motel. So I have been really interested in seeing what you have to say. What did you think of Bad Times at the El Royale?
Well,
was it a bad time?
Well, I honestly was. I'm expecting a bad time. I'm expecting a bad time. I don't want to watch this movie, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And then the trailers have literally done nothing for me, which a lot of times is the best movies for me to watch because I end up saying, because my expectations are so low, you know?
Yeah, because
like
then you
Han
walk out
Solo,
surprised.
that I'm just like, all right, that was pretty good. Trailers did nothing for me, and then
And I've actually thought the trailers were good.
there you go.
You know, and I've been telling you, and you're like, you know.
And
So
then
it's so
the
funny.
Damien Chazelle movie, honestly, I really loved his previous two movies, loved him, but I just don't want to watch this one. I'm not feeling it because of, I love Apollo 13, and it's like, I already know Neil, I don't know. Anyway, so I went to this movie not pumped up, and the trailers did nothing for me, and right when the movie starts, there's this opening scene of kind of like the whole, the premise of what this entire movie's about. Awesome, dude.
Which is finding some money in a hotel. It's pretty much the main
Correct.
premise.
That's
Okay.
what this thing's about, basically, is money.
Okay.
And then so that opening scene was just right when that happened, I'm just like, let's eat, let's go. You know, it's like when you enter a good buffet and you're like, oh, I
Wow.
wasn't expecting this, right?
This place has got some stuff going on.
Aight.
Couple trips.
You know?
couple trips.
Yeah, I won't be doing one round of looking at everyone saying, what did we just spend our money on?
Yeah.
And then the movie, bro, it's reminding me a lot of Pulp Fiction, where instead of chapters, like in Pulp Fiction, and out of sequence, this one's in sequence, but instead of chapters, it's rooms. So
Okay.
it's because that's the motel.
So basically, like they use that as kind of a way to introduce each character, and you got to do that with this kind of movie because you have you have so many names in this movie that are really really good.
50 Shades of Grey Girl.
Dakota Johnson.
Yep.
I know we're
Jeff
forgetting others,
Bridges.
but there's a lot of really talented people in this movie.
John Hamm.
Yep.
And so yeah, this movie right after the opening scene, we meet these characters, and it's just like boom, boom, and I'm like, all right, I'm like honestly loving the movie. Honestly, I'm loving the movie. It's awesome. And as the movie goes and goes, I'm just like, yes, 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 yes. And then for some reason, that last third act, the last 30 minutes of the movie, for me, it's just like doof, doof, doof. It's like no.
Oh man.
I don't know what happened. Oh, I do know what happened. For me, and this isn't a criticism on Chris Hemsworth, but when Chris Hemsworth's character comes in the last 30 minutes, it wasn't him, but it was what they decided to make the story. Just, I didn't care for that last 30
So it has
minutes.
nothing to do with like pacing or
No, I
like,
loved everything.
It's just where the story ends up going. The resolution, kind of in the plot and everything.
The last 2 minutes or 5 minutes of the movie, that ending, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that ending, but that 25-minute chunk when Chris Hemsworth's character comes in and they decide to do this with the story beats, I'm just like,
Thor's not Ragnarok it.
no, he wasn't. he wasn't. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So this kind of reminds me, a few weeks ago, me and you saw Simple Favor, a movie that we both really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But the ending was such a put off. You said you wouldn't recommend it. You didn't like it because of the ending.
And I really liked it, you know, because I'd rather go into a movie where I'm like hating it, and then it starts getting. I was like, okay.
As long as you walk out happy. Yeah. So is it to that degree where you wouldn't recommend this movie?
Probably. I just didn't like that last 30 minutes of that movie. I just didn't like. Are you gonna watch this movie, you think?
I want to watch it. I probably won't watch it till it's released, you know, on DVD
really?
down the line, because it's Oscar season right around the corner. You know, I'm gonna get back, and next week's Halloween. It's a major movie, so make sure to come out and check that out. But you know, before we know it, it's gonna be Oscar screenings all over the place, and there's a lot of good stuff coming. So I probably won't get a chance to see this movie until, you know, it comes out. But
If you
I
remember,
was like intrigued by the trailer. You know,
I wasn't at all, and I can tell you, bro. The first 2 hours or hour and a half, hour 45 minutes of this movie is awesome.
I don't know what this run is of 2 hour and 20-minute movies though. Like, I know that's a long time. Did that movie feel like it deserved to be 2 hours and 20 minutes, or
They
should have
needed
been
to shave it up, cut it up. Too much fat, bro. There's nothing wrong with eating fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a steak, you got a
talked about
ribeye.
it.
You want some fat? Eat it. It's good.
I love the fat
but when
on the
it's too
ribeye.
much chunks,
Yeah.
then it's kind of just like,
And it's a whole mouthful after
you're
a while.
kind of disgusting for eating that. You're a little disgusting. You know, in this movie, I think they just could have trimmed off.
Perfect example.
But you know what the truth is too, bro? I didn't have a problem with the first 1 hour and 45. So when I say cut off the fat, that may not even be true because it's more of like just change the entire third
Yeah.
act of where the story is going. That wasn't really
Again,
fat.
like A
that was
Star
just
is
the story.
Born, you know, it's just you wanted the story to be different to make it enjoyable. The time wasn't an issue, again. It was just the content they give you in that time, which is such a bummer.
Yeah.
But I do plan on watching this movie. But however, I watched Dame Chazelle's new film, First Man, so make sure to go click that white eye. Again, next week, AMC Town Square. It is, you know, it is Halloween this month. And we haven't seen many scary movies, but luckily we see the return of Michael Myers, where the movie takes place 40
Jamie
years.
Lee Curtis.
40 years after the initial Halloween. Everything post Halloween 1 is does non-existent. It doesn't exist. It's all blah blah blah. We are picking up a direct sequel from the guys who brought us Pineapple Express and Your Highness, which makes me a little hesitant, but I'm a huge Halloween mark, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do here.
It's supposed to open up big too.
Yeah, I would be shocked if it doesn't, and plus Jamie Lee Curtis has definitely kept this kind of train going, and everyone really wants to see Michael Myers come back.
Speaking of Jamie Lee Curtis, I'm gonna tell you something you probably didn't know. I just saw True Lies for the very first time
Really?
on TV.
Yeah.
And Jamie Lee Curtis has that dancing scene.
Yes.
Oh my god, she was the hottest thing on the planet Earth, right?
It's a very, very famous
And then,
scene, yeah.
so now you look at the trailer of Jamie Lee Curtis now, and they did make her up a lot
Yeah.
and made her old and stuff, but it's just like, man, she was hot. Jamie Lee Curtis was really hot.
And you know what? And like, everyone knows I have this huge love for Jamie Lee Curtis, but it was never like that way. So like, while like I dig True Lies and I watched it a lot growing up, that was like never the way that I like.
But she
saw
was
it.
hot.
She was absolutely. But like Jamie Lee Curtis now, you know, with the gray hair, like I just love her. Like I mean, I just love. I mean, I've enjoyed pretty much everything she's done in terms of performances and things like that. Even in her movies that aren't so great, I think she's really good. But there is something about Laurie Strode, the character she plays in the Halloween movies, that is a really, really great story. And a lot of people weren't happy with how her character arc ends in the actual series in Halloween Resurrection in number 8, because she was in 1 and 2, and then the last 2 of the Halloween series before the Rob Zombie remakes. And you know, I think it's a really, really great dynamic, though they're changing things, obviously. You know, to everyone who watched all those movies, they knew Michael Myers was related to Laurie Strode. That's not the case in this movie. They're getting rid of that theory, which didn't come until the sequel.
Yeah, because this one comes out after 1.
Yeah, you're directly after 1.
After 1.
And even though 2 took place the
you know
same
what they
night.
call these? Requels.
Requels.
Yeah.
I love
They're
it.
not reboots.
Yeah.
And they're not prequels. They're requels.
Well, I love it. I mean, Michael Myers is you know, up there as, you know, one of the first slashers, one of the big horror movies. 1975 came before Freddy, came before Jason. You know, back then known as The Shape, wasn't really going to be deemed Michael Myers until we had all these sequels. So I'm a big Halloween buff, and I'm really excited
I said
to see.
a prequel. I meant sequel.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not
they're requels.
reboots, and they're not sequels. They're
requels.
requels. Sorry.
But I'm totally digging it, and I'm excited to see it because that trailer is awesome. I could watch that trailer on rerun, like you did with the Logan trailer. I just watch it.
Beautiful trailer.
Anyway, so make sure to join us and let's celebrate Halloween a bit early with that.
Love it. So I
AMC
guess see
Town
you guys
Square.
next week. Hit that number right there.
Or Texas Guide 702.
3485-618.
Absolutely. We'll see you here at AMC Town Square,
JasonSimon.com is known as.
the Film Lovers website.